get some colour on these guys. That's my goal for today. Let's get these looking a little more colourful. So, I'm going to start with the guy right in front of me. Why not? What am I going to do? I got to get some of this out. Some blending to do. Okay, just very quickly blending up the colour that I want. There we go. Okay, let's get started. Oh my goodness.
It's Indigo Leaf just resubscribed for 33 months. Heresy.
Hey Indy, welcome in. Thank you so much for 33 months. That's almost 3 years. That is a very long time. Welcome in. I hope you're well. The music seems really loud in my ears today. I'm turning it down a little bit. Sorry if that's too quiet for stream. Just seems really loud today for some reason. Maybe I'm just quiet. But welcome in, Indy. Thank you very much for the resub. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I hope you're well. Oh, that's right. So I don't know how long I'll have today, because I've got a bit of a hand problem today. My hands are not doing the things they should be doing, but I'll be on for as long as I can be. How's my Sunday? My Sunday's going well, thank you, Indy. It's going well. I woke up, I had pancakes, and now I've got this. So I'm happy. I can't complain. Like I said, just a bit of technical difficulties with some of the organic equipment. The stream. So I might split this into 2 streams. I might do one early next week as well. To kind of finish these guys off. Just to make sure I get it right. Do you need that compression brace again? I don't think so, Indy. I think it's just like a bit of a strain from working hard. It's not like a brace situation, it's just a... Like, if I wasn't painting today, it probably wouldn't affect me. But because obviously when you're painting, you need to have as much dexterity as possible. I'm kind of noticing that I've not got all of it today. It's just a failed dex saving throw, but I should be alright. The most of today I'll be doing like general area coverage, so it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. I just won't be able to do much detail work today. That's all good. Detailing, I can do a dedicated detailing stream. That won't be a problem. Send that dice to jail? Absolutely. Absolutely. How's your Sunday, Andy? How's your weekend going? I hope it's going well. So today I'm getting all the armor done to a base standard. That's how I'd call it. So there's no detail, no highlights or anything like that on the armor, but like all the main colors will be in. And then I'll be adding the extra bits, so like lines and stuff like that. And then we'll have one final stream on these guys next week, where I'll do some of the detailing, highlighting, all that sort of thing. And yeah, just like a final pass on them. Make sure I've got them looking shiny. That's the plan. Hopefully I can stick to it. And I want to have these done as close to the beginning of next week as possible. Okay. Hallie, welcome in. Good to see you. Visiting off casinos in Fallout New Vegas. Oh, nice. You know, Fallout New Vegas is one of those games that I've been meaning to play for years and never got around to. I've heard it's good though. I've heard many, many good things about it. I also want to replay Mass Effect again at some point. Because I absolutely love Mass Effect. Oh yeah. But today, I'm working on this guy. Just gonna focus on everyone getting like the purple armor put in and sort of the bodies being done as much as I can. assuming the paint cooperates with me, which currently it's not being the most cooperative. Oh my goodness.
Castle_Rouse just resubscribed for 18 months. It's playing hard to get. Like me less than 3.
Casa, welcome in. Good evening. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good evening. It is playing hard to get. It's deciding that it doesn't want to stick. It's fine. It will cooperate whether it likes it or not. How's it going, Casa? Okay, we got team watching your friend. I appreciate that. I really do. I started off the day with pancakes and watching one of my very best friends stream. So, you know, it's a good day for it. And I very nearly didn't stream myself, but I know I promised that I'd stick to my schedule a bit better. So no matter how strong the temptation was, I'm here, I'm streaming, I'm doing the thing. How are you doing? I'm doing well, thank you. I'm doing well, thank you, Casper. Like I said, it's Sunday, pancakes. I mean, it's hard to have a bad day when you start off the day with pancakes, so. Got a day off. No work today, so that automatically makes it a good day. Yeah, to paint minis and enjoy some wonderful company. Doing your best. I want to do it for myself, Mindy. I appreciate it. I really do. But I need to be better at keeping to the schedules. Otherwise, I'm never gonna do the things that I want to do with this channel. Never gonna be able to progress the way I want to if I don't actually do the streams. So I need to put in the work. It's just you know, one of those things. You can't stream and watch other people stream as much as some streamers try to. I know there's a few streamers out there who try to restream other channels and all this sort of thing. It doesn't work. If you're gonna be in someone's channel, be in their channel. Engage, talk to them, all that sort of stuff. If you're doing your stream, do your stream. Concentrate on what you're doing. You're doing a disservice to both the channel you're watching and your own channel if you don't give it your full attention. In my opinion, anyway. But I'm a little old-fashioned about that kind of stuff. Yeah, restreaming doesn't work. It's the difference between restreaming, like streaming someone else's channel to your channel, and lurking to boost their numbers while you stream is a big difference. If you're just leaving a lurk, you know, and then doing your thing, it's different to like having their channel playing on yours while you talk over it kind of thing. The second one is the one I have a problem with, because I've seen a lot of streamers do it in the past. And it takes away from the streamer that you're trying to promote. And it just kind of says to your channel that you can't be bothered to do original content, so you're taking someone else's. At least to me. That's what it kind of stinks of. And yeah, like, I think this community is worth my full attention and my best efforts. So I'm gonna do that. Plus, I can't paint and watch a stream and stream myself. There's too many things to look at then. And I'm not gonna do that to myself. Worst viewers and main job streamers. I get what you mean. I get what you mean with that, Casa. There are a few streamers who are kind of like they pop in to be seen, but then don't make an effort to actually engage with the stream that they're in. I've seen it a few times. There are some who are different, but they're few and far between. The difference is usually in how they treat the attention they're given. If they try to redirect the energy back towards the streamer, then, you know, obviously they can't help being, you know, a streamer themselves who has a community of their own. But if they don't try and redirect it back towards the streamer that they're visiting, then that's usually a little bit sus. You know? But self-promoters are usually the least... Self-promoters and backseaters are usually the least favoured kind of viewer in general. Yeah, there are some partners who'll come into streams just to flex the check mark. But yeah, there are some who turn it off. I mean, personally, if I had one, like, it would really depend on the stream for me. If it was a new stream that I'd never been in before, I'd probably turn it off. But say it was like indie stream or Claire stream or whatever, I probably wouldn't bother turning it off, because it's like, well, you guys are all in here anyway, you know, like, me having a check mark there wouldn't make a difference, because I know that you all wouldn't treat me any differently to how you treat me now. At least I hope you wouldn't. So Yeah, it's a thing. But anyway, like either way, if you're in a channel, yeah, check mark or no check mark, and you know, be in the channel, enjoy the channel, enjoy the community and the streamer and all that sort of good stuff. There's a lot of really cool people on this platform. I don't know. It's a behavior I've seen recently that I was a little bit disgruntled by. Of just, hey guys, check out this really cool streamer. I'm gonna show you their entire stream on my channel now, and then talk over it. So you can't really get an idea of what they're saying, and they don't get any of the views because you're all still in my channel. And it's just like, really? Don't be that guy. Don't do it. No. I miss the Muppet streams. That's where my love of golf with your friends comes from. They're a lot of fun. Golf with your friends, Jackbox, all that good stuff. Good days. You're not a failure. You're not a failure, Casa. Not at all. I'm not gonna lie, it still boggles my mind that Shredder's a father. It trips me out that I'm at that stage where people are intentionally getting married and pregnant and stuff like that. I'm no longer at that age where people go, oh no, when you announce a pregnancy. I'm at that stage where they actually say congratulations. It's how you know that you're getting older. Aww. You didn't tell me that you got it from Shredder. I'm sorry to hear that. Aw, I hope his little one survived okay as well. I hope you're over it. The worst of it, at least, Casa. That was not a fun experience. When I had it, I got extremely ill. I had it back in March, myself. I remember because I was trying to do a subathon at the time and I didn't realise I was incubating COVID. Expected to get something. Oh no. I hope you're alright now though, Casa. I really do. I know you were worried about it. It's just, like, I don't want to say it's funny, but it's a little bit strange because all the long COVID symptoms that people talk about, they're very similar to fibromyalgia. So I'm just sat, so everyone's like, oh, I can't think, the brain fog, and I'm just sat there like, that's just a Tuesday morning for me. Like, there's a reason I drink so much coffee. And it's not just because it's really damn tasty. No, it's just interesting how there's so much of a crossover between certain symptoms and stuff that I deal with every day. So I feel like once I got over the obvious, like, cough and fevers and stuff like that, I kind of had a bit of an advantage in dealing with it, because I've, you know, brain fog, I get that regularly. General aches and pains, again, fibro. Extreme fatigue, fibro. I'm just like, it's me. Recovering. Hopefully no more pneumonia. Oh, I really hope so. Hopefully the damage is as minimal as possible, Casa. I'll be keeping my fingers crossed for you. Just let us know how it goes. And if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. I know obviously there's not a lot I can do over here, but if there is, even if it's just to have a listening ear, I'm always here. Speaking about it. Nah, it's funny. Since I got the official, like, yes, what you have is fibromyalgia, weirdly it doesn't bother me anywhere near as much as it used to, because now I have a name to describe what I'm feeling and, like, experiencing. It's nowhere near as scary and it's nowhere near as frustrating. It's not to say it doesn't bother me. Like, you know, fibromyalgia is painful and exhausting and frustrating as an illness. But it's far more manageable now I have a label for it. Whereas before I was just like, oh, why do I feel so bad? Like, this sucks. And I have no information to tackle it. So I didn't know what was causing it, so I couldn't take any action against it. I just kind of had to suffer with it. Whereas now I'm like, oh, it's fibro. I need to do this and that, and I need to, you know, I have a way to deal with it. I have a way to manage it a bit better. Diagnosis is important. And I'm very, very grateful that I've got it. Not fibro, but the diagnosis at least. Then I've got options of how to at least get it under control. Now, it's not a curable disease, but it's something that can be brought under control. So that's what I've been working on, basically. Pneumonia, tremors. I'm sorry. I did notice that I also got motor function problems. Because I have fibromyalgia related hand problems. And I noticed those got worse when I was ill. I think most people in the field, so to speak, now agree that there is a lot of like nervous system. Actually, I'm going to do that later. Nervous system involvement with COVID. It's for someone who studied this. It's an extremely interesting illness. But it is very interesting to see people complain about symptoms that I live with every day as well. Because I keep seeing a lot of like, oh, how does anyone deal with the brain fog? I'm like, well, I have some news for you. And I'm not trying to be an ass about it, but it's kind of hard when these are the same people who dismiss things like fibromyalgia, saying, oh, it can't be that bad, you're just a bit tired. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I imagine you're a little bit ahead of the curve on me on that one. As a veteran, would that be the right word? I don't know what to say about what to call it. But I had a little bit of an advantage in that I've had family members with fibro, and I've got the scientific background to be able to separate the bullshit remedies from the good ones. Because there's an awful lot of like, oh, you're feeling fatigued? Take this amazing herbal supplement that totally is legit and will cure you. And I'm like, maybe not. Maybe that could just give you liver failure. Nervous system. It sounds like you got a pretty a much stronger effect than I did. So I don't know if I got a weaker strain or if my like the booster shots I had just worked more efficiently, but I can imagine. Ableism is a pain in the ass, yeah. I try to be patient with it because, not to pun on it or anything, I do try to be patient because, especially for an invisible illness, like if you looked at me on any given day, you probably wouldn't know that I had a disability. I mean, I don't have any external stuff that sort of has a big neon sign going, this person's disabled, treat them differently. And there are some days where I don't have any issues whatsoever. So it's like, it's frustrating to have a fluctuating invisible illness sometimes because people forget. Hell, I forget sometimes. But yeah. Just because I'm having a good day doesn't mean it goes away, unfortunately. I'm just lucky that mine can be brought under control and be a negligible impact on my life with the right... I don't want to say treatment, because it's not treatment as such. The right combination of factors, I'll say. Oof. Yeah, the BA5 strains. Some of these strains that are coming through, because I think I had one of the early waves of Omicron, or Omicron, depending on how you pronounce it. So for me, it wasn't too bad. It was like a nasty dose of the flu and a fibro flare hitting me all at once. which is not fun, I will tell you that, but I never felt like... I had a few scary coughing fits, and that's about it. Like, that was the scariest thing. I think if I didn't know that I had fibro, I would have been a lot more scared. But because I know I already have this condition, it did kind of prepare me for a lot of it. But, you know, I've had my boosters. I've had everything I can to make sure that I'm protected. I'm just gonna mask up and everything else every time I leave the house and just be extra careful. Like, double careful. And just hope for the best. Never change. I appreciate it, Andy. It's weird thinking of myself as disabled. Someone who used to be extremely active and capable. It's a big change. But like I said, going from not knowing to knowing what is wrong with me was the biggest thing. It helped so much. Just having that confirmation of, you're not actually crazy, you just have a disease. Yeah. See, I don't even have operations or anything like that. Like, fibro is a disease of elimination. You know, it's not arthritis. It's not chronic fatigue. It's not, you know, a mental health problem. Yeah, the only thing you really see medically, other than the increased pain points, on like your average blood test, the only thing you'll see is slightly raised general inflammation markers, which can be caused by literally anything. Now, if you're a little bit overweight, you will see the same pattern. So it's more the absence of confirmation from other illnesses that gives you the answer of fibromyalgia. Which is a really weird thing to go through. So, well, the good news is, it's not this, but we still don't know what it actually is yet. It just puts me at risk for a lot of other fun stuff in the future. But, whatever. Could get hit by a bus tomorrow, so... worrying about future potential risks is not something that I'm prone to do these days. That luxury. I'm at 5. See, for me, I was extremely active growing up. Like, extremely active. I was doing martial arts, I was doing a lot of conditioning, a lot of swimming. I was on sports teams. Yeah, I still miss doing combat sports. And I hope that I can get fibro under control enough to be able to do that again. Because I miss taekwondo, I miss doing stuff like that. There's no guarantee that I will ever be able to go back to it, but there is that chance, and that's why I consider myself kind of very, very lucky. Like, I will always be disabled, but it can be controlled to a point where it doesn't affect my life. Which is an odd thing, but very fortunate. Roaches, yeah. I think we had this discussion a while back, Casa. Yeah. Fiber has a lot of crossover with a lot of different disorders and illnesses, or whatever your preferred term for it is. And I think that part of that is we still don't really know what causes it, so it kind of, it's like the bastard son of a lot of different disorders. But none of them are particularly fun. So, whether you're a fiber sufferer, or if you have a cousin of it, or whatever ails you, I hope that it is a good day. A good day for whatever ails you. And just because someone looks okay, don't assume that means that they are okay. Okay. I don't plan on getting hit by a bus, but you know, life has a funny way of upsetting your plans. And I'm just gonna do my best, you know? I'm gonna do what I can to enjoy life, but if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, c'est la vie. You know? It's a very, I have a very sort of, well, shit happens kind of perspective on life at the moment. I had two things that I was particularly scared of, and fibromyalgia was one of them. Both of the things that I was kind of most scared of experiencing, I have experienced before the age of 30. And I'm still here. So at this point, yeah, whatever, man. What will be, will be. It can't get any scarier, I feel like. Well, within reason. I'm sure there's something that can prove me wrong out there, but... yeah. Played rugby? I wanted to, Indy. I really wanted to. I was on the fives team, which is kind of like handball. If anyone's familiar with that. But it's played with a cork ball and both hands rather than one. But my main sport was taekwondo. I was a black belt. And was actually going to be looking at getting my instructor qualification when I moved. And yeah. Kinda changed. So yeah, I kind of agree with that. Like, everyone has got something. Everyone, whether it's as minor as a vitamin deficiency, or as major as, you know, what you and I know can go wrong with the human body. Everyone has something. There is no one who is 100% perfectly healthy. That's why when you see a doctor, you get your bloods taken or whatever. They talk about normal ranges. Because all we can say is this is within the average for what a healthy human should experience, or not. As in a lot of our cases, it's usually not. Yeah, like you can minimize your risk whilst also not living your life according to an expectation of failure. And I try to minimize my risk. You know, I don't want to be sick. I don't want to have flare-ups. But I'm also not going to stop doing things just because of the possibility of something bad happening. For example, I know eating junk food will make me feel trash the next day. However, sometimes you just really want a damn pizza. Now, that's not to say that I'm going to go out of my way to eat pizza on a regular basis, but as part of a balanced diet, sometimes I'm going to eat the pizza and take the consequences. You know? It's like, yeah, you know eating junk food is bad for you. There is not a single nutritionist worth their value out there who will say it's okay to eat junk food. However, sometimes we all eat junk food and we all suffer the consequences. I kind of have that approach, but just on a wider scale. Hey, Hipsu, welcome in. Enjoy the hot dog. Always fall into the junk food trap. Junk food is my Achilles heel, currently. That is one of the big things that I am working on to reduce and get healthier. It is I would say junk food and caffeine are my last two true, vices. Yeah, I don't drink much. I'll have an occasional one. But I don't really drink. I don't smoke. I don't do, illicit drugs. I do eat more junk food than is healthy for me, though. So that's my current thing. I was just sorting out my diet. And I'm hoping that I can maybe look at going more plant-based diet is what I'm looking at. But I need to see, because there are certain types of plants that I should really avoid. So yeah, I need to see what my options are and plan a bit of a healthier diet. But just simple things like eating more fruit and veg, drinking more water, getting healthier sources of protein. Yeah, I'm not going to give up caffeine. I am going to improve the sources of caffeine. So rather than going for junk energy drinks, I'll go for higher quality tea and coffee kind of thing. Because, if you compare a can of Monster to a cup of good coffee, the coffee is the healthier option, even with cream and sugar and all the rest of it in it. Is what I'm very quickly learning is a healthy diet is not always about making the best choice. It is quite often about making the least bad choice. That's okay. If you're even 80% healthy in your choices, that's okay. That's enough to be healthy. Especially in today's world with, you know, the sort of stuff they put in some foods. Ooh, I'm really happy with how that came out. Alien plant life. So much fun to paint. Make it best I can? Yeah. Yeah. Cost right now is the big thing as well. Funnily enough, Indy, speaking of Tim Tams, because I still had some left over from when you all gave me umpteen boxes of them. They survived 40 plus degree heat in, I don't even want to know how much humidity, in this very room during that massive heat wave that we had. So I think it reached like 42, 43 in my office room. There were no fans, nothing on. And those Tim Tams survived without even so much as a slight melting of the chocolate. I was so impressed. Can the workouts due to stress? Hey, that's really impressive, Casa. Congratulations. I am slowly moving to. I do what is kind of termed as popcorn workouts. Because if I do a sustained amount of activity, even up to 30 minutes sustained, I get extremely exhausted. Like, really, really bad. But I find if I do 10 minutes, even if I do multiple sets of 10 minutes throughout a day, it's a lot easier for me, and I don't get as exhausted. But I obviously still get the benefits of exercising. So I typically do at least one set of high intensity, so like high speed cycling in a day. And I usually do a speed trial of 2 kilometers. So I'll try and cover 2 kilometers on my stationary bike as quickly as I physically can do it. And then do like a gentle stretch cool down. And that's been working for me. And I mean, in the past 6 months, I've lost over 30 kilos of weight. And it's mostly been body fat. But I've also been doing a massive diet overhaul. Yeah, I've given up energy drinks, I've given up, like, a lot of other crap that I was eating, so. Made tough? Absolutely. Feel tough? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I try. Alright, focusing on this guy. Please, is forever heat. I am too. I'm amazed because when it was actually hot, I actually realized that my fibro symptoms weren't as bad, but it was afterwards that it kicked my butt. So when it went back down to normal temperatures, then it started kicking my butt again. So it's kind of interesting. Yeah, finding out what works is half the battle. Yeah. It took a lot of trial and error. I've been experimenting for around a year and a half now to find what works for me. So I do like resistance once a week, which is upsetting because I love resistance workouts. But I can't do them more than once or twice a week, depending on how my symptoms are. Otherwise, it doesn't go very well for me. And then I do like popcorn cardio, is what I've termed it basically. So it's these very short, intense workouts that I can get them done quickly, which is also good because I'm, you know, not overburdened with free time. But I can also, you know, do set amounts of distances and all this sort of thing, and it's super helpful. And yeah, you're right. It's about finding out what works, especially with chronic conditions like the ones we have. Thank you, Casa. I will say I had a lot of excess weight to lose, so it took me 6 or 7 months to lose that. I've probably still got about the same again to lose before I'm into a weight that is healthy for my height. But I don't mind being a little bit overweight for my height because I do have pretty decent muscle density. From, yeah, left over from Taekwondo. It's still not gone away. So, I'm aiming to get out of obesity numbers. And so far so good. And it's all been done with the guidance of doctors and licensed health coaches. So if nothing else, I'd like to stop having to pay them a lot of money each month. It's a good motivator. Enjoy. Thank you, Casa. Funnily enough, the biggest battle was a mental one. I didn't realize how much of a mental drain how do I put this without... I need to put this diplomatically because of identifiable situations, but basically there were certain situations that were causing a lot of mental drain. And I didn't realize quite how much that was affecting other parts of my life until that mental drain wasn't there anymore. Yeah, and it's true what they say, like, if people are making you question, you know, what they mean to you, or what you mean to them, or if they're making you think, do they even really care? Probably not worth your energy. It's certainly not worth breaking your heart over. If you're sat there thinking, what's the point about any of your friendships? Don't break your heart over it. And you'll feel so much lighter when you realize there are people who don't make you feel that way. And that you now have the energy to really nurture those friendships. And that's kind of what I've been moving into. Like, I had some grieving to do, but I'm kind of moving out of my mourning period into a much better space mentally. Claire, hello, gorgeous. Speaking of wonderful human beings. It's good to see you, Dan. I hope the new job tomorrow goes well. If you're around tomorrow after work, I'd love to hear all about it. I really would. But I hope the prep is going well. I'm excited for you. And yeah, it is like that situation that you're thinking of, Casa. It's a weird thing to grieve a friendship when it's a weird thing to grieve someone who is not dead. And it's not something I'd wish on anyone. But it's been nearly 2 years. Mourning period's over. Like I'm not allowing myself to dwell on it in the same way anymore. Like I was saying before, what will be will be. Anytime? Yes. I'll be around. I'll be around. So just give me a shout if you want to hang out. Not meaning to rhyme, but apparently I'm doing that today. Oh, I'm so excited for you, Claire. I'm so happy. I hope it goes well. They better be nice to you. You hear me? They better be good to you. And they're gonna have to deal with me otherwise. Yeah, of course. So many people in this community, like, just absolutely wonderful. Like I said, it's a weird thing to grieve. No, it is. It's a grieving process when you lose a friendship like that. It's the only way I can describe it. But yeah, something oddly freeing about not having to go through the uncertainty anymore. And that's what I'm trying to hold on to. That feeling of I don't know how else to describe it, of just relief from the stress and the uncertainty and the dramas. Funny situation. Hard to really talk about without going into too much detail. Detail that I'm not comfortable broadcasting, so I'm not going to talk about it anymore, but yeah. It's kind of where I've been at the past few months. I'm glad that, you know, it's getting better. Bunch of wonderful heretics. The most wholesome heretics on Twitch. And with whom I have spent a wonderful almost 5 years. I'm going to be celebrating 5 years as an affiliate next month. So, once I'm done streaming today, that's what I'm going to be planning. Going to be planning something special, I think. Or maybe not. Maybe I just do a stream of longer than average proportions, and I just do a few giveaways and things like that. And we just chill and enjoy the company of each other. I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking I might do a playthrough of something that I've not played on stream before. So I need to see what's available and what I can get. Yes, wholesome. I know what I said. I maintain. I maintain my original opinion. And you know, we may not be the biggest, but we certainly do a lot of good as a community. And I will never stop being proud of that. There are much larger communities that have had a much smaller impact than what we've done. And we're slowly growing. Very slowly. But it's growth nonetheless. Shout out to the YouTube people watching this later. I appreciate you guys too. I think it's wholesome. Hey, you can be wholesome and lewd. If you want proof of that, read the Sunstone comics. I think you would actually enjoy them if you've not seen them already, Casa. Only the select few. Yeah, I'm kind of the same. Kind of the same. Folks think I'm lewd, but they don't know the half of it, for the most part. There's a few. Dang, paints. Cooperate with me. That paint is not cooperating today. Not seen them. Thoroughly recommend them, Casa. They're great. Yeah. Claire knows. Claire knows. There's a couple of people that, you know. I'm a lot more selective about certain aspects, showing certain aspects of my personality around certain people or in certain situations these days. Here we go. That's the one I was looking for. There's no. Right. If you're interested, Caster, there's Sunstone and Mercy, which are a linked series. You can also find, I think it's Bloodstain as well as the other one. And those three comics are like, if anyone says that you can't be wholesome and lewd, I'm just like, right, you need to look at these comics and then try and tell me that again. They're so good. Okay, I'm switching up brushes because that one is no bueno at the moment. And this one has not yet been touched. I'm thinking when I get a little bit more time in the future, I want to start doing more Discord evenings. And there'll be a lot more like what's the best way to put it? Like uncensored? I think is the best way to put it. So obviously when you're streaming, you have to be a little bit careful of TOS. But I'd like to do a bit more just community stuff, but not community stuff on Twitch. So I want to find some nights to do that at some point. But I'll need to carve time out of stuff that I'm already doing before I can dedicate time to more stuff. Which one open? Yeah. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I don't heavily censor myself on Twitch. But there are certain subjects that I don't talk about as much, or that I'll maybe not say as much as I would if I wasn't conscious of the fact that I was streaming. So, you know, I like the ability to say a little bit more. And it's not because I necessarily agree with the censoring side of things, but I do have a respect for the platform that I am on. And whilst I may not necessarily agree with all of the rules they put in place, I do respect and abide by them. Because, you know, I'd rather do that than lose this platform. And it's much easier to change the system from within if you're still a part of it. Yeah, time and a place. And there are some things that just that just don't need to be broadcast on the internet as well. Because, you know, the internet, nothing's ever deleted and nothing ever dies online. Funny enough, I was reminded of that yesterday. I stumbled across an old folder that I had kept of a bunch of clips from when I first started out on Twitch. There's a lot of old clips and screenshots and things. Very, very big hit of nostalgia. It's one of those moments where it really did actually feel like I'd been on this platform for a long time. I feel like there's a little bit too much purple down here. Need to break that up a little. I'm not quite sure how to break that purple up just yet, so I'm going to repaint over these areas just to get them a bit more even. Okay. Now onto these. She's a beast. I kind of get it. I kind of get it. I feel like I have a better understanding of what I can and can't control, at least, which I feel like is half the battle when you're trying to do this professionally. I use professionally in the loosest sense of the term, by the way. I don't believe that anything I say or do on here is professional in the slightest. But Clive, hello, welcome in. How are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. I love that bear and breakfast game that you were playing. That was so cute. Okay. Yeah, how am I? I'm doing well, thank you. I'm doing well. I was saying earlier, I started off the day with pancakes, so any day that starts with pancakes is usually a good one. Definitely no complaints. I'm just putting some work in on these guys. Thank you so much. I'll see your mornings anyway. True. It's such a cute game. I'll have to see if I can pick it up at some point. Bacon pancakes? No, sadly I didn't have any bacon. But I did have blueberries. Blueberry and maple pancakes. I was trying to rotate it without dropping it, and dropped it anyway. I know I want bacon pancakes. I remember I was on holiday somewhere with my family. They did maple and bacon pancakes, but there were like, it was like maple caramelized bacon bits in the pancake batter. So I do love making bacon pancakes. I do, and now that's going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. I'm just kind of trying to make this look a little more like a gun than a weirdly shaped armor piece. There's going to be some elements that will get repainted over different sections of colour. But I'm just kind of trying to break up the colour on the armour a bit with different sections so that it looks like parts of the gun rather than part of the armour. That's a little bit better. Oops. We have a train. A real life train this time. Tower crew look great, thank you. They had to go with the commander that I did. So they're going to be very, very similar in feel at the end, hopefully. But honestly, I feel like I've done a better job with the crew, which is a little bit embarrassing. So I'm going to have to see if I can't fix up the commander after I've finished the crew. Make him look a little better. Okay. I think that looks alright. Wait, there's something I was going to paint in. No. Shoo. Real life choo-choo. Or shoe, as some streamers like to say. Mustache? No worries. No worries, Casa. Take it easy. Thank you for stopping in. It's always good to hear from you. I hope you have an excellent rest of your night, and hopefully we'll catch up soon. It's very noisy in my neighborhood today, unfortunately. I do apologize for that. Something I want to do when I'm finally in a position to move is get some proper soundproofing down so I can have a nice quiet space to work in, and you all won't have to listen to whatever is going on in the neighborhood. Right, there we go. You need. I appreciate that, Cassie. Thank you. Okay. We're getting along quite nicely with this. Most of the paint's behaving itself. It's going where I tell it to. Mostly. It's not too much I've had to do in the way of correction just yet. Been able to make good progress on this guy. So I'm hoping I can have at least this one finished, and then this one like 99, and then this sort of the sergeant dude that's at the top corner, I'll probably work on, finish him off, and then do all the detailing in a separate stream. Because the detailing, partly because I need to attach some parts to them after I've done this stage. And partly because the detailing's not going to take too long on this one. It's going to be a little bit of work with some paint pens. And that's about it. You know? Working with paint pens is not too bad. And my secret weapon. I'd love to say I do freehand work without the use of paint pens, but I'll be honest, I don't see the point in making it more complicated. I can freehand with a brush, I just choose not to. And at the end of the day, folks don't really care how you do it. For the most part. They just want to see pretty things. Alright, let's bring this up so you can see it. So the idea is to have these three and the commander sort of to imply like a strike force almost, trudging through a death world. So, you know, you got the jungles of Katachan, And the Salamander's homeworld as well. Places that would kill most armies. Just dead on sight, but these guys, these specialists, these Lovecraftian mechanized horrors, they don't care. I'll leave that side pretty bland. I'm just gonna brush these marks in. So I'm just brushing it in to make it look like part of a wider bit of machinery that's kind of hidden by the arm there. Not that this will necessarily get seen all that much, but I'll know it's there. Okay, so this guy, I can bring him back in. Last couple of bits of detailing. Just these greens. And the green is kind of what balances the colours on these a bit. Because otherwise they're very dark, dingy, bland kind of colouring. But with the green in there, it kind of almost makes it a bit more believable in a way. In my opinion, anyway. I like the contrast of the really bright green with the purple. Okay. That's green as well. Just making sure both sides match. And then I missed a bit there. Kind of didn't quite cap that one enough. Shaky hands. There we go. That's about as detailed as I'm getting on my work today, because as you can tell, my hands are a little bit shaky. Not so good if you're planning to do a lot of detail work. So then this will kind of be how he'll look fully assembled, more or less. Obviously I'm not gluing him just yet, but it'll be something along these sorts of lines. Not quite sorted the posing out just yet. If I push really hard, there we go. It's not glued, but it stays in place. Right. We go again. Again, this guy, a little bit of a different base. You can see the marshland. It's a little bit more layered. And I'm gonna lay a vine across here, I think. So he gets a bit of a smaller plant, I think. I guess I need to cover his feet. I've got just a little bit of this purple left that's not dried out, so I'm just going to work on getting his feet done. I don't know why I'm saying him for these guys. Tower crisis suits can be any gender, but I don't know why my brain is saying him and he for them. Maybe it's the Lovecraft influence. My brain is just kind of pulling that association together. I forgot to paint this one's head. And face. I didn't do a very good job on you, did I, buddy? I'm sorry. Refresh the purple a bit so I can do a bit of a better job on evening up this colour. Just make it really shine. I'm going for White Dwarf worthy. That's the plan. Conjured. Conjured vision? Mike? Thank you. I really appreciate it. The public has enough to be there. Yes. I want to go to the supermarket and have no one else there. I want it all to myself. But yeah, I got these guys, and then there's the commander as well. And I feel like the commander might need a bit more work, but I've got the symbols on there. So all of the community unit is what I'm thinking of. the unit is going to get the same sort of treatment. Eventually. You know, yeah, I couldn't remember screen names. Screen names are funny. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Changed a while back? I hadn't seen it. I'm sorry. I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a little while. I'm enjoying these though. It's been fun playing around with color shift again, getting a bit more of a subtle look than I have done on like Dagon and stuff like that, where it's very in your face. These, you only really see the color shift when you look closely, and it gets that sort of bluish tone in there, a little bit of turquoise. It's nice. It means I can just add another technique into the arsenal for possible future use. That's all this project has really been about, to be honest. Trying out something new. A little bit of a challenge. I've never painted Tau before. And yeah. I'm happy with it so far. It's been fun. I just wish I didn't have a deadline for it. Oh, usually lurking. It's good to see you. And thank you. I do appreciate the compliments on the painting. Oh. Yeah, I'm kind of going for... Is it acrylic on it? Yeah, it's the water texture acrylic stuff. It's this stuff that I've then mixed with some contrast paint to get a tone to it, a color tone. So it's... and then molded like that to get kind of I'm going for a marshland look. I don't know if that works yet, but still in progress. Looks awesome. Thank you. I've only used the water texture stuff a couple of times, so again, it's a bit of an experiment more than anything. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks a little bit weird when you first put it on there, because it starts off, it kind of looks like PVA glue. So it starts off very opaque, and then dries a bit more clear. And honestly, I'm pretty sure you could get the same effect using PVA glue. If you got a full-on tub of it and scooped it out, you could probably get the same effect. But the acrylics are fun. The acrylics are fun to play with. And there's not a lot of difference in size between the Commander and the Crisis suits. You just look up here for a second. Commander's the one with the symbol on his head. Crisis suit's not that much smaller. Interesting. Yeah. Back to the... Oh, wait. Is this going to cooperate with me this time? There we go. You can kind of see all of it now. So this guy over here, the sergeant, is going to be worked on next stream. I assumed it was. Awesome. Thank you. It's good. It's good to hear when stuff is actually working as intended. Because a lot of this is kind of experimental for me. As I mentioned, there's a lot of... I've not done this before, but I'm going to assume this is how this works, and let's see how it goes on these models. So the base is one of my first times dyeing acrylic, and also one of the first times using successive layers of it. So some of these bases have got multiple layers of acrylic that I've dried one, then added a new layer on top, kind of thing. Like the one I'm working on down here. It's my first time using color shift paints blended directly with another color. So I've mixed this purple using two different, like one color shift, one non-color shift paint to get this sort of faint iridescent look. First I'm using paint pens to get those symbols on the commander. Lots of first times. It's been fun. It's a really fun experiment. And I'm happy with how it's looked so far, considering a lot of this is my, you know, considering how much of this has been painted as a sort of, let's see how this bit works, and I'll come up with a different method when it doesn't work. So, I can't complain. Oh, wait. That's the wrong colour. Nearly messed that up. That's... yeah, there'll be probably one more stream for these guys before I move on to the next project. I think next week we'll be finishing these off, and then probably finishing off those chibis that I was doing as well. So I've done a lot of Sisters of Battle chibis recently. I've got 2 more left to do. I've got a Repentia and Seraphim, I think. So paint pens, yes. For example, this guy right here. It's a paint pen. That's the nib, if it'll cooperate. Come on. There you go. So yeah, it just writes in paint instead of ink. And they're acrylic based, so they work with the paints that we use on models. And that's how I've got the like symbols and things like on here. You see all those runes. They were all done with paint pens. It's just a little bit easier to control than trying to write with a with a paintbrush. Especially because I couldn't get the lines as thin as I wanted to with a paintbrush. So I had to sort of pivot tactics a little bit. Yeah, you can just find them on Amazon or, you know, whatever store. The ones I've got are Artistro brand, but other brands do exist. I just wanted some really fine line ones. the really tiny stuff. Oh, that's fine. It wasn't glued on. But the paint pens have been awesome. Really awesome. They take a little bit of getting used to. If you've ever used like fabric pens or anything like that. The ink is extremely fast flowing and can create a bit of a mess. They're a lot of fun. I definitely want to try out some like graffiti work or something like that with them on some scenery at some point. So I reckon they'd be amazing with that. Or even just get something that needs, like even an Imperial Knight or something like that, and do a custom paint job from that. Yeah, they're like smaller versions of graffiti pens. I do have some fatter versions of them too. I can't find where I put them now. Yeah, I've got some fatter ones as well. But I like these ones for the tiny detail work, and I get more use out of the fine line ones. You can't exactly use them like a Sharpie, but they're more like an ink pen, almost. Super, super helpful there. Great for, like I said, those little details that you can't quite get with a paintbrush. If you want a really clear, definite line. It's not that I couldn't do that with a paintbrush. I just don't see the point in overcomplicating it. Like, I could, but I don't have to. So why am I going to go and make it harder for myself and possibly get a worse result? If you know what I mean. I don't know, there's a lot of, I don't want to say controversy necessarily, but a lot of fuss about using paint pens at the moment, which I don't necessarily agree with. At least in the mini painting world. I think for most people it won't be any either here nor there, but I saw a couple of people like, oh, you shouldn't use them, it's cheating, rah rah rah. No. I just won't tell you that I've used them then. Oh, I'd love to do something like that. Tag up a warlord. I'm really tempted to get some Titanicus knights. So that I can do something like that, like properly tag it up. Make them all chaosy. Do like a corn inspired tagged up version of one of those nights. Corn but punk rock. So, you know, extra angry. But I could also do something like that for my Ashes gang. Do some, you know, themed scenery or something for 'em. Because obviously Necromunda is very, very into that sort of look. The, you know, urban wasteland kind of look. Like the Huan forces? I'm sorry. I thought this was the Hive. Okay. I keep seeing my camera wobbling because of the wind. I'm sorry if that's affecting the stream. It's getting kind of bad. Diorama looks like Seymour Ryan Giant. I want to do something like that. I really want to do something like that now. Maybe for next year's Armies on Parade, I'll do a diorama. And it's just a graffitied up little set of half broken Titanicus models. I would actually kind of love to do that. Or I could get an Imperial Knight and break it down to use a scenery with a bunch of like corn demons all over it. And they just sort of scribbled all sorts of obscenities over the beautiful, clean war machine. If I could, I totally would do that. I need a hell of a lot of materials for it, though. Okay. Stop wobbling. My camera won't stop wobbling. A little Banksy tag in the corner. Only if it's noticed. Banksy tag would only cause problems if they noticed it. I'd maybe do like a copy of one of his works, but Warhammer-ified. So, you know, like the girl with the heart balloon, except it's, I don't know, a commissar with an Aquila balloon or something like that. want to draw just that now. Like the Banksy style, but Commissar with a Aquila balloon. I can picture it so clearly in my mind. Good morning, Sinku. And yes, it is afternoon. But welcome in. I hope you're well. I hadn't realised it was already afternoon. Damn. Time's gone quickly. Just need to check something. 2 minutes, folks. Is more out. Yes, it is. I still have to finish this project. So, yes. I've got probably this stream and one more stream to go with these guys, and I should be done after that. So I do have a bit of a deadline that I'm working towards. So I want to make sure I hit that deadline, and that deadline is coming up rather rapidly. It's Friday next week, if anyone was wondering. Oh my goodness, stay put. Shortwave for Transformers and anything Battletech? Ah, fair enough. I am not familiar with Battletech, to be honest with you. These are just kind of my own creation in terms of colour schemes. I honestly just wanted the the opportunity to paint some Lovecraft almost inspired stuff. So I went with like Eldritch, Colour Shift Purple, and dark greens, and swamp effects, and all that sort of good stuff. Trying to invoke like deep sea vibes almost, but make it 40k, so it's a death world. Okay. I'm just painting some of the foliage. And Sacco for Mecca. That's fair. We've all got things that we love. I'm more of a fan of the Gribblies myself. It's too many straight lines and even looking places. On Max anyway. But hey, I wanted a bit of a challenge. I've never painted Tau before, so it was a good opportunity to paint some Tau. Just tidying up a tiny bit. But there'll be vines and stuff applied to these models later on. I mentioned a little bit earlier, I'm going to get these done to a point and take a break. And then early next week, probably Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to do some more of them. So I'm going to do some... I'm going to do the last guy out of this Crisis Suit squad. I'll also be doing some of the vine work, the symbols, the detailing, and I hopefully should finish them off in that stream. Or at least do it so that I only have to do sort of a few more minutes work off stream to get them fully done. But I'm getting a little quicker with each one because I'm sort of familiar with where to look for mistakes and things like that now. Or little accidents. Opportunities for refinement, whatever your chosen descriptor for those are. Excess enthusiasm is what I heard one painter describe it as. Where paint got where it shouldn't go. Which I kind of love that idea. It's not a mistake, it's excess enthusiasm. Okay. I don't want to get too heavy on detail in some areas because I know roughly where all the vines and things are going to sit. And it's going to obscure a lot of stuff. So I don't get too heavy on the detail in some areas because it's going to be covered up, so there's no point in me painting it in. I'm also under a little bit of a time crunch, so I don't want to spend time on stuff that's not going to be seen at this stage. Okay. And here as well. Alrighty. I think I've got most of the detail here. Okay. Model has decided it's had enough. You can stay down there then. Sometimes the model will just decide to just be done. And I am reaching that stage of the stream where both my My body and my model are saying, you've had enough. I'd love to do longer painting streams, but sometimes you just need a break. So I'm going to paint up this gun first, so. I'll paint up this gun so it's all done. And then I might have to call it after that. But that does leave both models that I've worked on today in more or less the same state. Which is good. Master check, thank you, Mindy. Hope everyone is sitting comfortably. Don't forget to stretch. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Step away from the screen for a minute if you need to. Rest your eyes. It's good to relax. Okay, I'm gonna split this up because I want to make sure I do a good job on these. I can feel myself getting tired and kind of making minor mistakes. You know, that'll be good for the model as well. Good for the final product. Take my own advice. It's good to relax. I should do it more often. What do we go? Forgotten what fiber pain was. Yeah, I mean, honestly, at this stage, like it's incurable, so it's never gonna go away completely. I want to get to a point where this is my full-time job, because this I can manage. And if it was my full-time job, I'd be able to do like a morning and an afternoon stream, for example. But because it's not, I have to conserve my energy for other things. So I can't dedicate as much energy to this as I want to. Because I think a good way to look at it is like spell slots in D&D. Some days I'll have as many spell slots as, you know, a 14th level wizard. Some days I'm more of a level 2 wizard, you know? So I just kind of have to plan ahead and plan where I'm gonna spend my spell slots. This is a high level spell, you know? Like, streaming is the equivalent of a D&D wizard spending their top level spell slot. I can't do that every day at the moment. Especially on days where I have to work my day job as well, it is very, very hard. And I don't like to talk about that as much because I don't want people thinking that I'm hurting myself to stream. I'm not. But, you know, I don't always have enough energy to be able to stream. Sometimes I run out of spell slots. And I can either take the fatigue or I can kind of battle through it and... Well, I can either take the hit and miss out on streaming, or I can kind of battle through it and hope that no one really notices it. Like I said, some days it's fine. Today is an okay day. I can do my normal amount of stuff, but I can't push it. Some days I can push it. So when you usually see me do a slightly longer stream. And some days I can't do even half of what I normally do, and that's usually when I'll have to cancel or postpone streams, which I hate doing, as you all know. There's a lot of forward thinking involved in having a condition that limits what you can do. Especially when you've got something like streaming to maintain, content creating to maintain. Because content creation means you gotta keep creating, otherwise you very quickly lose. Hey. It's a life I've chosen. And if I could do it all the time, every time, I would. One day though. Alright, so this guy gets that one. You get this one. Are you gonna stick on a little bit? Not even a little. It's annoying. I was hoping I'd painted up the layers enough to kind of get them to stick like the other guy, but he's kind of a carbon copy at the moment. That's the idea. Slightly different posing as our other guy. That's our second guy. Like I said, very much a work in progress still. But we have 3 out of 4 done. Which is awesome. We'll have them all finished by next week, hopefully. Which means, yeah, lots of good stuff. So you're gonna get out of money, the only way to cover is go home, get the rest of it. Yes, exactly. Exactly like that. It's exactly like that. It's, yeah, like, I found spell slots and, you know, the D&D analogy, or the mana WoW analogy is kind of the easiest way to explain it to people. Like, most people don't have the same limitations on what they can do, necessarily, or if they do, they don't suffer the same way the next day. Like, if I go over my spell slots or over my mana allocation, the next day I can't do as much. So it's like in D&D, You take a point of exhaustion, and then your saving throws go down, and you can't do certain abilities. It's the same thing for me. Like if I go over my my capabilities, I end up triggering flare-ups, which means I can't do as much. Yeah, I've effectively got an invisible debuff. But you know, it's one of these things. Like, the more I learn about it, the better it is. The more I learn about it, the better I can manage it, and the better I can anticipate these things, which means they don't have as much of an impact on my life. So if I can plan ahead, you know, everyone needs a rest day occasionally. So there's that. But yeah, I will leave it there because my paints are drying up, and I want to go get some food and give my brain a bit of a break. I might actually do. Well, I do have some the closest thing to IRL mana potions, and that's tea and coffee on there. Tea and coffee are the equivalent of like a temporary spell slot or something for me. Give me a tea or a coffee and I can do the thing. That's why I'll usually be drinking like for this. I've been drinking Sneak while I've been painting, or for a lot of the late night streams I'll do like an iced tea or something kind of sugary to keep me going. Caffeine buddies, yeah. But I need to try and stop drinking as many energy drinks for other health reasons. But hey, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. Like I said, I'm gonna leave it there for today. I wanna go get some food. I will be putting the VOD for this up on YouTube. It'll go up on Monday. I'm gonna try and upload regularly on Mondays and Fridays. So it seems to be working well. So I think that's gonna be my regular upload days, if I can manage it. But yeah, thank you for joining me. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll be back next week. I think I'm planning to do my midweek stream for hobbying a bit earlier this week. I'm gonna aim for Tuesday, probably. Tuesday evening to finish these guys off. Maybe Tuesday in the day, I don't know. But keep an eye out for the schedule tomorrow on Twitter, and I'll let you know. But thank you all so much for joining me. I appreciate it very much. I'm not going to raid anyone because I spotted a few bots in there. I don't want to pass them on to anyone else just in case they're a little sus. Yeah, thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you're in the world. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye for now, folks.